Back at it again. Finally got an opportunity to play again last week. That's been kind of a strange occurrence. I don't exactly know what day it is. It's Monday. We practice today. Generally, we off on Monday, but because we play on Thursday this week, we practiced this morning. So that went pretty good. We've now practiced twice. We practiced yesterday and today, which is, I guess, what you got to do when you got Thursday night games. So we pretty much have gotten the Johnson C. Smith stuff out of our system and got the North Carolina Central stuff into our system, and just trying to figure out how we can go out and beat the Eagles up in Durham this coming Thursday night.
Coach, what concerns, if you have any? The defense again looks as impressive as it has been in recent years, just with their speed and athleticism. But on the other side of the ball, I don't know, I kind of expected more out of that group going against them. What were your expectations last week and moving forward?
I think you hit the nail right on the head. We actually did not play very well offensively. Had opportunities early to maybe blow the game out and didn't. And at that point, then we just kind of made do for the rest of the game. But it's that way with this offense at this time. We're still trying to find what we can do, and with a new quarterback, trying to get him to the point where he's comfortable and understanding of some of the options available to him. We've got to continue to search a little bit. So that's been the $64,000 question down in our office. Why didn't we play better on offense this past weekend? The one thing that we got to figure out is that we better do a good job of not at least turning the football over and doing things. The one thing that we did do, actually have done in the first couple of games, we've taken care of football pretty good. If we'll do that and punt the ball back to the other team, either score or punt, then I think then we give ourselves, an above average chance of still winning football games. So that's the mission now as we look to find our way on offense. Hopefully we'll get better, as we go.
Do you have to simplify reads or the way you do things, or you prefer not to, just because the more simple you are, the easier it is to attack?
I think it's a combination of things. Our offensive front's awfully green, and then you go into this game and lose maybe our best offensive lineman, or close to the top guy, Robbie Stevenson. Looks like he's not going to be able to play this coming week. So, we played a couple freshmen there. We working a transfer in now, a junior college transfer guy. It takes a while for things of that kind to come together. Those guys are just kind of getting to know each other that way, and then you add another couple of ingredients, and we got all new running backs. So all those running backs are freshmen. Half of those tight ends and wide receivers are young guys too. So it's a young offense, and I've got to make sure that I'm somewhat, I guess maybe, patient with this group, because I get a little frustrated sometimes when things don't go the way they ought to go, and it's one of those kind of deals where they can only do so much so fast. So we got to just continue to see if we can kind of work them and get to the point where we can get better.
Is that frustration also come, Coach, from being a week behind with losing the Charleston Southern game? How does that factor into it?
Well, the layoff for the week, we were home for 4 or 5 days, is something that I guarantee you didn't help the situation at all. You were kind of getting to the point where you thought you had some things going, and then you get that deal. So I don't know exactly all. We had 3 practices going into that game Saturday. 2 kind of regular practices and 1 shorts, kind of walk-through kind of deal. So you can bet that we'll be better this week than we were last week. Whether that means, we'll be good enough to be a North Carolina Central team that's probably picked 1 or 2 by most of the different people who do that kind of stuff in the preseason, then then we've got our work cut out for us.
Coach, with the circumstances being the way they were, you didn't have a game obviously the week before, and you're playing a home game. I know last year it seemed like it took until freaking December. I know the season over that point, but it took forever to guys to get a home game. Did you think that was kind of like one of the reasons why you guys had a spark at the beginning?
Well, I'm sure that was an excitement for sure. The one thing that you do get a chance to get a sensation for also is the fact that on our home turf at 90 degrees at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it is smoking.
It felt like that.
So, I don't know how much that had an effect on our overall situation, but I can tell you we were excited to play a football game at home. the last few years, we ordinarily would play late on in the year, you know, because of the guaranteed games and that kind of stuff. So hopefully we'll, you know, continue to develop and play better and get more experience as we do. You know, then this team can settle in and become the kind of team that we hope they can be.
As you work on the offense, last 2 years you had a lot of close games, and special teams had trouble. Special teams looked great on Saturday. I mean,
You know
blocked the punt, and Tyler looked comfortable out there kicking.
We had, I thought, one of our better early season games, special teams wise. You're exactly right. I'm extremely proud of Tyler Scandrick. He's come in and really kicked really good all preseason and has punted the ball well. It's just that the Benjamin kid from down Holly Hill, you know, is really hitting it good. And I've been really pleased with him. He hits it up there in the stars sometimes. And, you know, it's just fun sitting there watching them. The guys on the team sometimes, you know, they'll stop and kind of look around too. It's kind of like when you got a great baseball player, they hit those long home runs out in batting practice. You know, when he hits it, you kind of hear it from down the field a piece. So, you know, we've been really pleased, you know, with what's going on there. And then we've got a good young group of like linebackers and maybe tight ends and some of those kind of guys, you know, that are bigger, skilled guys who run well. And if you can put those kind of guys in your special teams game, then I think that makes for, you know, better special teams that way. So I think that might be why, you know, we've had some success that way now. We had some problems with our field goal up front group, and we think we've got that fixed. We had a little bit of a situation where we got one blocked and got another one close to blocked. I think we might have had two hit. And you know, the one thing that you could see, if Scanner could get it off, it was, you know, it was through the uprights. But we did have a little problem that way. So if there's one problem at all with our special teams, it was the fact that we had a field goal block.
So it sounds like the offensive line is a concern for you guys, and blocking is on all fronts right now. On
Pretty
pass
much.
protection. Yeah.
Pretty much, Joe. We got to get our stuff together up front, and you know, we're working our fannies off right now. You know, trying to get them to the point where we can go out and consistently run the football. We didn't run the football the way we thought we could, you know, in a situation like it was last week. So, you know, we're going to see if we can go back to the drawing board a little bit and see if we can get some of that fixed.
Defensive front, though, again, looks like you guys are really athletic on that side and really at all positions on defense. From that standpoint, going into a game like this against NC Central, I mean, does that give you kind of confidence on a short week that you really have a defense you can kind of trust and go out there and keep this close and perhaps even create some opportunities for your offense for short field?
Well, that's what we hope. The key for us is to play a team game that way where, you know, our defense maybe can make something happen, you know, to give our offense a little bit of an advantage, or, you know, our offense can continue to do some things to, you know, not put our defense in a bad situations. If we can do those kinds of things for each other and then continue to be pretty good in special teams, then I think you still have an above average chance to win a football game just by not doing anything stupid.
Kind of a redemption game back on a national stage, a chance to kind of set your image again nationally. I know you guys struggled last time on ESPN2, now you're back on the U, and a chance to really showcase what you're capable of doing.
Well, I think that's kind of obvious that we'd like to try to go out and play a lot better than we did the last time. So it's another opportunity that way. And, you know, those guys seem to like putting us on. And, you know, if that's the case, then one of the reasons they like putting you on because you go on and you play good. So, you know, we're going to continue to get these opportunities, and we got to go out and do something with them. So, you know, that's what our mission is right now, to go out and play really well. You know, for our league, it's our first conference game. There's all kinds of incentives out there, you know, why you want to do well. You know, if we can win a big conference rival game like this on the road, then it puts us above the line as far as, you know, what you got to do to win the championship that way. So, you know, it's conference time. You know, that time of the year is, you know, all or none kind of a deal. So, you know, it's all about that stuff at this point.
Coach, how do you feel about your team going into conference week? I mean, think back to the beginning of the season when you went into week one. I know you guys obviously lost the game 2 weeks ago, but where are you looking at this team now compared to week one?
Well, we feel better about it than we do week one for sure. But, you know, I'm not at a point now, I'm just ready to just go out with all kinds of bubbly kinds of enthusiasm and optimism, thinking that it's going to be, you know, everything's going to be rosy. We've got some issues that we got to continue to work through. And I guarantee you, we've identified most of them in a way where, at least we working on it now. Whether you can just fix things because you know what the problems are, you know, it's not necessarily the case sometimes. So we've got some deals that we're trying to kind of come to some kind of agreement on how to, you know, how to get fixed, and some things that we need to understand as a team, as a coaching staff, whether we can actually execute or not. You think you can do something sometimes. You don't really have that ability. You know, some throws that a kid might like, you know, you don't necessarily feel like he can throw that well. So, you know, you got to figure out all of the what's good and what's bad about this team, try to emphasize the good in a way where you can get more, you know, of a good light when you do what you do.
Still had to be good, though, for this team to get a win together, especially in a new group coming together, seeing what it would take to earn a victory. How important was that before MEAC play starts?
It was big. We needed a win really badly. And, you know, for them to, you know, go out and win a game, you know, you see the, you know, look in their eyes and the, you know, the pep in our step for practice this week. You know, it's tough sometimes when you play a game on Saturday. You know, you come back on Sunday, you know, you got to come right back and practice. Sunday and Monday morning, we were up this morning, 5:30 this morning, you know, out there practicing and that kind of stuff. So it was a, you know, a quick turnaround of sorts. So yeah, we needed to win that game because let me tell you, it's hard trying to do all of what we're trying to do after having, you know, after having lost a game.
How much do you guys practice on the defensive side, kind of what Leonard did? I don't know, I'm sure you've watched the film by now, where he kind of looked like he took a tomahawk punch and just literally came right down on it. Like, do you guys practice that type of thing? And even the ball tip drill, like how often do you guys practice those kind of creating plays on defense?
They've actually now started to have terms for the different techniques that you use for trying to dislodge balls. I think they got, this one is the lawnmower, and they got another pulling, you know, you like when you kind of crank along. You see guys trying to snatch the ball.